the devastation of lives and buildings and stuff just totally threw the Sauk Rapids people back in development, and it was very much hard for them to rebuild.
On April 14th, 1886, the town of Sauk Rapids was hit by the deadliest tornado in Minnesota's history. The town was toppled by the F5 strength storm. Mary Otsby of the Benton County Historical Society describes the town before the storm.
Sauk Rapids was one of the more developed communities in the territory of Minnesota when it was originally set up in 1849 to 1854. When the state became a state in 1858, Sauk Rapids was the gateway community to the counties, specifically Benton County, for immigration and stuff. It was highly developed by the time the tornado hit it in 1886 with river travel and trains and stuff. And so the population at the time the tornado hit was right around 2,000. A lot of the business travel from creameries and lumber and having the mill here and everything, it was not only a populated area, but there was a lot of business development in the area as far as the downtown business district. And so there were a lot of people coming into town just to do business beyond the general population of the area.
It is believed that 2 tornadoes came through St. Cloud and converged into one as they crossed the river into Sauk Rapids. The tornado made it all the way to Rice, killing 73 total people.
A storm coming through came down into Sauk Rapids in the Bridge District, which is down by First Street South. That would have been according to our town and the way it lays out, the southern edge of town, and came down the business district, basically right down Benton Drive and 2nd Avenue North, taking out the bulk of the primary town area. Oral interviews actually stated that the river had been sucked dry of water. The Mississippi River had been temporarily sucked dry of water. And even though it was put in these oral interviews, a lot of people said that couldn't happen, And interestingly enough, the meteorologist confirmed that with an F5 tornado, the Mississippi River and the buildings and the information that they had, it is very possible that the river could have been sucked dry, and probably was, because with all the information they had, they put it together that it was probably 2 smaller tornadoes that conjoined right on the other side of the banks of Sauk Rapids. Oral interviews also stated that they really didn't see it coming. It was just a big gray cloud, which would fall true to what the meteorologist said. If the tornadoes were conjoining and combining, it probably joined together, looked like a very giant wide gray cloud, moved over the river, ended up swirling and getting its moisture from that river and the water that it sucked up, and then just hit Sauk Rapids very devastatingly, very fast. And in all likelihood, the people really did not see it coming, other than an increase in winds, until it started, taking buildings down.
The storm left behind destruction and death, but the resolve of the people would show in their efforts to rebuild and start over.
By 1898, they had rebuilt most of the buildings and businesses that were downtown and were getting back on their feet. Sauk Rapids people did start to rebuild, as quickly as they could and get what they needed taken care of. As far as, development, it was one of the more highly developed areas of the region before that time, and there was a time lag in order to rebuild, get businesses rebuilt. The original businesses, a lot of them were wood. After the tornado, a lot of houses and downtown buildings were rebuilt in brick. There was a sense that they wanted a little bit more permanent in their rebuild, or a less chance of having to rebuild again should something else like this occur.
Despite occurring 125 years ago, the storm forever changed Sauk Rapids.
The town in general rebuilt. The town in general, coped, survived, stood together as a tight-knit community, was committed to the process of getting their town back. Again, they got it back to where they were comfortable with it. They did not have the same situation today where we have to carry IDs and our cars are licensed and somewhere, somehow you can pick up a cell phone and at least find a phone number and to call somebody to find something. So it's a much different, when you think about the tornado in general, you have to think of things back in 1886 versus thinking of them today. Today we'd bring the loaders and the caterpillars in, we'd be able to ID the people. It would be much different. And so the devastation, we try to impress upon people that not only was this just a devastating storm, but you were dealing with a whole different level of lifestyles and how things were accomplished. And that makes the story even more incredible with the durability of the people of the time and picking up their town.